So, our November and December theme is the authentic self and its 8 essential qualities. Today's title is Unity with the Whole. Why do we want to take a look at the authentic self? Is it so we can redefine ourselves or understand the power that lies within? Perhaps we want to be real and are tired of pretending. Or we have come to the place where we realize that all the efforting takes way too much energy. And we just don't have any energy left. We are tired and worn, and we have had enough. Well, those are all reasons good enough to consider or contemplate. And we either have come to that place of surrender within ourselves, or we are heading there. The reasons for bringing it up is to illuminate the self and see ourselves in unity with the whole. Or we can do what we always have done, ride the waves, right? It is like a wave. Have you noticed that? Like a wave, up and down. And we seem to go along fine for a while, and then something happens. A situation may trigger something. And that something may not have been revealed to us yet. We think we know ourselves, and suddenly something or somebody reminds us of an old wound, and boom, there it is again. And we think, enter your personal swear word here, I thought I had learned all I had to learn from this old belief. Why, oh why, do I have to do it all over again? And then the descent begins. So I say enough. Enough of being divided against anything, let alone oneself. It might be an outdated belief that we need to change, and that is an inner job, right? Once a belief gets a hold of us, it can be so strong that we're shrinking away from the effort to change it. It is actually easier to say yes to what we know because it's so comfortable than to muster up the courage to change our beliefs. But then the end result is nothing changes. Right? So the longer we hold on to our belief, the more power it continues to have. Hear these painful voices that tell me what to believe. For instance, I'm not lovable, or I'm not worthy, or I'm too anxious to get ahead, or I'm not good enough. These voices can cause havoc in a person's life and totally close off the possibility to change. Resisting them, or being against them, or pretending that they don't exist isn't effective. Not anymore. Not ever. There is a thought to ponder. I may believe I'm those voices in my head that I constantly hear, but then I'm asking, who is the one listening? It is time to shed some light on these beliefs with awareness. For example, the belief I'm not lovable. In the prison of this belief, many things are going on. There's not only that sentence, but there's shame or guilt, feelings of unworthiness, old memories of rejection, abandonment, criticism that hurt and left a mark. Maybe a long time ago, maybe just yesterday. I'm not lovable isn't just a belief hanging loosely around. It is wrapped up in a web of feelings, emotions, impressions, and shared experiences. It is not surprising that our identity has been leading us to ask for very little love, or none at all. And in that, we're wanting to close ourselves off from situations because we feel threatened. For some of us, we may even see love as our enemy, right? Because of the pain we associate it with. Here's a quote from Carl Jung. "But what if I should discover that the least among them all, the poorest of all beggars, the most imprudent of all offenders, yea, the very fiend himself, that these are within me, and that I myself stand in need of my own kindness, that I myself am the enemy who must be loved, what then? Then, as a rule, the whole truth of Christianity is reversed. There is no more talk of love and long-suffering. We say to the brother within us, Raga, and condemn and rage against ourselves. We hide him from the world. We deny ever having met his least among the lowly in ourselves. And had it been God himself who drew near to us in this despicable form, we should have denied him 1,000 times before a single cock had crowed. That's the real reason to look at the authentic self. To find the way to unity with the whole. There's good news, folks. Really good news. This whole complexity is totally foreign to our true self. That's the good news. We want to become aware of what is going on inside. When we are aware, we begin to lead a more conscious life. And this is enough to free us, to take us out of that prison. Self-awareness brings belief to light. Self-awareness is always on the side of true self. When we are willing participants to expose our deep, dark beliefs to the light of awareness, we notice that the light is so bright that the beliefs become almost light sensitive and lose their power. Right? Well, this sounds nicer actually than it is. I don't want to make believe that any of this is easy, and it's never that orderly as it sounds, right? Oh my God. It can be quite messy, actually. However, when we are with a person we trust and just let it rip, what happens? It might come out as anger. So what? It might come out as crying or yelling. So what? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to unload toward a person or over a person. I'm saying to unload in the presence with a person. When that happens, that other person becomes a witness. And the witness does not have to say anything, and hopefully doesn't. The witness is just there to witness. That's all it is. But when we are able to speak of our feelings and include even the messy emotions and let them show up, we then lighten the load. We learn so much more about ourselves. And if the person that witnesses can hold the space, it's even better. And have you noticed we don't really listen to our thoughts, but we seem to listen and hear what we say when we express our pain. And just to entertain an idea, in that moment, I wonder, would it be helpful to record this? And then 2 or 3 or however long it takes to settle, hours or days, to re-listen to that and hear our own pain. Not to judge ourselves, good God, we do that so often, we don't need to do that on purpose. But can we then be objective and learn where we might need to change a thought or our thinking? It's interesting. Let me know how it works. So, I have a story. Once an old man was thinking about his future, and more of his 4 sons actually, not himself, because he was getting up in his age, and he noticed that his 4 boys are fighting a lot, and he didn't like that. So he invited them over to teach him a lesson. And when they came, he gave him a bundle of sticks. And he said to his first son, his oldest son, "Go ahead and break that." And the oldest son took the bundle of sticks and did whatever he needed to do, but he couldn't break it. So he passed it along to the second son, and he tried his best to do the same thing. He could not break that bundle. And the third son comes up and says, "That's easy, I can do that," and tried and gave his best, and didn't work. So the fourth, the youngest son, comes, and he was a little smarty pants. He takes them apart and breaks them one by one. Oh, okay. The old father smiled and said, interesting. Guys, do you understand what happened here? It is always easy to break sticks one by one. But when they're bundled together, what happens is they combine their strength. And that's what I like you to see and for you to do. Because when you are together, no one can hurt you anymore. The 4 brothers realized what the father's teaching was, and, well, like a good story ends, they decided to bury the hatchet and get along and lived happily ever after in peace and harmony. It's a heavenly story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, so good. Well, Ernest Holmes, from What We Believe, he says, we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. And the science of mind point of view on that is, I don't need to create heaven. Mine is to open my awareness to perceive and receive the natural state of order. as it actually is. Now take a deep breath and say, and call it all good. Ah, all right, now we're on to something. On the first signs that we are living from the authentic self comes those incredible moments when we feel a sense of effortless connection with everyone and everything, with the whole, right? This is when we have a feeling of oneness with life in the moment. This is when we discover the true wholeness is a state of being and not a condition, or even a point that we arrive at one day. Wholeness is a place in consciousness that affirms we are one with life, intuitively knowing that beyond all the voices, concerns, or perceptions is all already perfect, just the way it is, and just the way we are. So when we live fully anchored in that awareness of our unity with the whole, authenticity is revealed. Yeah? Something real emerges from within us, and the sense of separation is gone from our awareness. That's when we have shed some light on ourselves, to the point of self-knowing. And to the extent that we recognize ourselves in our self-knowing mind, we are in unity with the whole. So the sticks in the story are talking, talking about, could be a metaphor for getting to know all aspects of ourselves. Every belief in us or even about us is included. Nothing is left out. Every corner in our mind, soul, body is illuminated with the light of awareness. So I become curious about all aspects of me. I don't make any judgments of good, bad, or indifferent. And then we bundle them all together, and we call it good, and we have unity. We simply say, I'm unique. What I say or think, how I feel, or what my beliefs are, what I hope or long for, my fears or my doubts, these are all activities in the self-knowing mind. And it's okay. I'm an individualized expression in this universe. I belong here, warts, wrinkles, and all. And Ernest Holmes says it this way: there are different mental depths and heights from which we may look out upon life, from whatever level we look. That which we see comes back to us by an invariable law of attraction. That which we look upon is real while we look at it. We arrive at the consciousness of unity only in such degree as we see that what we are looking for, we are looking with and looking at. This is a teaching moment. This is in the tests on our practitioner tests and the ministerial tests. So I say that again. We arrive at the consciousness of unity only in such degree as we see that what we are looking for, we are looking with and looking at. Heaven is lost merely for the lack of a perception of harmony. Hell is the phantom abode of our morbid imaginations. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. That's where the quote ends. And there are the waves again.
What page? What page was that on?
I don't. I didn't write that down.
Okay.
I want to share this poem by Danielle Laporte. It's called You Are More. You're more than your name, your frame, your DNA. More plenty than all that you have given birth to. Big, big wishes. You are even bigger. Imagine that. Imagine anything, and you are more. You are gone, gone, gone beyond. The beyond of what started this on. I pray you desire temples of peace and benevolent tsunamis of love, and that you realize your size in the relatedness of the yes. You are the that and the and, the core and the more that is ever expanding. And so I pamper myself through spiritual practices and spiritual mind treatments. And there's a good one, and I didn't write that page down either, Lisa.
Okay.
But you know it.
Oh yeah.
I love this treatment. Perfect God within me, perfect life within me, which is God, come forth into expression through me as that which I am. Lead me ever into the path of perfection and cause me to see only the good. This is our transformative process. Just like a caterpillar that spins its cocoon and then emerges as a butterfly. We emerge taking correct spiritual and mental action by means of our awakened consciousness. Woohoo! Then we can freely feel our worthiness and know that we are good enough. We get ahead with ease and grace, and we are lovable because we are a part of the whole, and unity is strength. So, I am whole, perfect and complete, exactly as I am, and so are you. And so it is.
So it is.